So, who am I doing this for? I am doing this for men and women who want to lead better. I'm doing it for leaders who have reached a point in their life where they realize, this isn't about me. I'm doing it for leaders who are coming into touch with the fact that the real impact they make in their lives won't be measured in their bank account. And the reason I'm doing this, very simply, is that our world desperately needs better leaders. Serving, not self, others, world, is the heartbeat. It is the starting line. It is the first principle of value creation. When you wake up in the morning and make the decision, let me be about something that is of use to others, you are in alignment with the universe. You are in alignment with God. You are in alignment with everything that flows out of the creator of everything. Hi, my name's John Stallworth, and I'm on a mission to encourage and strengthen leaders around the world who are committed to become as effective and as impactful as they possibly can in making a big and significant difference in the world through their leadership. I've been doing this work for many years now. It began 20 plus years ago in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, when one of the mentors who has had the biggest impact on my life, a man named Bruce Bickle, invited me to join him in creating opportunities for business leaders and entrepreneurs and community leaders, nonprofit leaders, pastors, to get together to strengthen their leadership in their spheres of influence. From there, I co-authored a book called The Serving Leader, which then spread out across the world, reaching hundreds of thousands of readers in about 10 languages. And those leaders then began to reach out to me, asking me if I would help them. The things that I'm going to share on this video blog starting today, I have been sharing for 20 years with CEOs, with general managers, executive directors, entrepreneurs, pastors, nonprofit chiefs, in many day-to-day events. But today, starting with this first video, I'm going to slow down and share them in a format where perhaps others can participate and can listen in and can join the conversation that I have been able to reach. So, who am I doing this for? I am doing this for men and women who want to lead better. I'm doing it for leaders who have reached a point in their life where they realize, this isn't about me. This is about others. I'm doing it for leaders who are coming into touch with the fact that the real impact they make in their lives won't be measured in their bank account, and will be measured in the world they leave behind, will be measured in the people that they grow, and the people that they encourage, and the people that they champion, and who become human beings who themselves then make a bigger difference. And the reason I'm doing this, very simply, is that our world desperately needs better leaders. I'm going to talk about that in more detail next time. But for today then, let me just make a very simple point. I've been watching really closely, and I have come to observe something that I want to share with you as an encouragement, and then I want to tell you where my source is ultimately for this insight. I started to realize many years ago when I worked for Leadership Foundations, which is a global organization that I started working for all the way back in 1994, that every time I was in an extraordinary organization that was delivering great results and attracting amazing people and causing those people to want to do their very best at work and producing trust, I began to observe that at the helm of those kinds of organizations were leaders who were serving, not self. I know a lot of leaders who are serving self, thinking about what can I get out of this? How can I take advantage of this? How can I make this work out for me? But these leaders had reached a point in their journey and their learning where they came to realize they had to make a difference for something that mattered more than themselves. And this word, serving, became a fulcrum. It became a centerpiece of my preoccupation as I related to businesses and enterprises and hospitals and grand organizations that I served over these many years. And here's what I have come to know. Serving, not self, others, world, is the heartbeat. It is the starting line. It is the first principle of value creation. Nothing enduringly good ever comes into being and then grows and scales without someone saying, there's something I could do that would be of great service to someone else. Serving is aligned with the deep governing laws of the universe. Many, many years ago, I came upon a passage of religious writing found in the Christian New Testament in the book of Matthew. And I'll give you two little pieces of Christian writing that I think that everyone in the world would benefit from. Frankly, I think many Christians would benefit from if they took it seriously. Jesus was with his disciples. This is found for anyone who wants to Google it in Matthew chapter 20. And he's with his disciples, and the mom of two of his disciples came to see him and said, Jesus, I see what you're up to, and you have a thing going and it's growing. Put yourself in the shoes, let's say, of a loved one, of an employee of a young enterprise who's thinking, wow, my son, my daughter is hooked up with something that might go somewhere, right? And so mom comes and says to Jesus, would you make my boys your vice presidents? She was talking about James and John. And put them at your left and at your right, because I really want them to be in advantageous positions. And this really irritated the other of Jesus' disciples. And then Jesus says something back, first of all to the mom, but really he's saying it to all the disciples. He said, you have no idea what you're asking for. You're asking to be great. You're asking to be great. And you want to be first. He said, if you were sensible, you might not ask for that, because a lot of suffering comes with that. And by the way, I'm going to address suffering pretty soon too, and why we leaders must learn how to suffer well if we don't want to ruin anything. So Jesus said, you're going to suffer if you lead. He said, I don't really have the pay grade to decide who's higher or lower in my enterprise. He said, my father takes care of those promotions. I don't do that. But he said, here's the thing. If you want to be great, serve. Serving is the deep principle of the universe. He said, you want to be great? Serve. You want to be first? Put yourself last. And then he said, now he's just talking like to his employees, right? I want you to be good servers, right? Be good servers. Don't do as I do, do as I say, be a good server. But then Jesus says, in the very same way I'm asking you to serve, I'm serving. I didn't come here to be served. He said, I came here to serve. I came here to give my life, to lay my life down for something that matters. Well, that's an interesting little story. And, as I used to encounter that story, without thinking it through, I ended up with the notion that is a very good moral teaching, that serving business. Jesus wants his disciples to serve. And, while he was on earth, he was doing it too. Maybe it's for here and now, be good people, be nice people, serve, That's a good thing. But I didn't see it cosmically. I didn't see it in terms of the universe. I didn't see it in relationship to all of reality. I saw it in terms of this Jesus who was alive and who was teaching his disciples a certain set of principles and practicing, modeling it for them. But more recently, I came upon another text all the way at the end of the Christian New Testament, 22nd chapter of Revelation. And it's in the 8th verse. If you want to look this up, again, you can Google it. John has been shown this immense picture of the future, really of where eternity leads. And he's been shown this by angels, by archangels, by mighty angels. Now, you don't need to believe as I believe, but I understand the reality of angels and that they live in a hierarchy, an orderliness in the universe. They are beings in the same way that you are a being and I'm a being, but they are much grander beings. If we are the forklift operator, they are, they're on the board of governors or they're in the C-suite. They are at the top of the eternal cosmic enterprise of God. Mighty, powerful, influential, high standing. They can command and cause many things to happen that we don't have any ability to. So, John's being shown these things by the angels. And at the very end, John is knocked over literally. I mean, it's an amazing picture of the future. John says, starting in verse 8, I, John, I saw all these things. The angel showed them to me. And so I bowed down at the feet of this angel and I began to worship him. And the angel says to John, now, again, let's picture CEO says to the newest employee back in the shipping department who pushes boxes around all day. The angel says to John, don't do that. Don't do that. He said, I am a fellow servant alongside you and alongside the prophets. You are not to worship me. I'm serving too. You're serving. I'm serving. And all of our activity is about something that's bigger than us. He said, worship God. Serve something that truly is great. And when I read that, I thought, my, this principle of serving, yes, it was taught by Jesus to his disciples. And frankly, around the world, I encounter traditions where serving is taught. And Jesus himself said he's here to serve. But it breaks through the ceiling of this world into the whole cosmos. Here is a being who is beyond any earthly sense of power that we might know. And he says, I'm a servant. I'm here to serve. Serving is where it's at. And we'll unpack this, but I just want to encourage you. We get a lot of data from people who don't serve. Muscle builders in various sorts who flex their muscles and preen about and stick people under their thumb. And, from time to time, it looks like they're really doing well. And we can be daunted. We who've decided that our life is going to be about something more important than our life. We can be daunted. But I'm telling you, serving is the root of the production of all goodness. Serving is where it's at. I'm not saying it's easy. And again, I'm going to share more about that in due course. But I want to encourage you, when you wake up in the morning and make the decision, let me be about something that is of use to others, you are in alignment with the universe. You are in alignment with God. You are in alignment with everything that flows out of the creator of everything. And I've come to the conclusion we can properly talk about the serving God himself. We're with him. We're with one another. And I want to encourage you in that. No path is easy. Serving others or serving self. There's pain baked into life. That being the case, my encouragement is for you to pick yourself up again and say, okay, let me get back out there and let me love, let me care, let me be diligent, let me keep my promise, let me grow people, let me help others succeed, let me serve. So if this rings for you, please join me as I share these with you each week. You're part of this blog, you're part of these videos if it is your aspiration to be a leader that makes a difference. I didn't say you're part of this video community if you're good at it. Many of you are exceptional at it, but that's not what causes you to belong. You belong if in your heart you aspire to become a really good, may I say, great serving leader. When Jesus said, you want to be great, serve, he was giving them the path. And I want to share with you over time what I've learned sitting at the feet of extraordinary serving leaders around the world so that their lessons can become our lessons together. So stay tuned, and if you would be so kind as to subscribe, hit the subscribe button. I'd be very grateful. That will help us, help you, and put a like on it. I understand from the way YouTube works that this helps other people find us more clearly and more quickly. Stay tuned, be encouraged. Thank you for being a serving leader, and I will see you very, very soon.